Hello everybody, this is Anti-Natalist, and as you can see, we were at UPMC Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh, and they have utilized these primary colors to add levity to the hospital, but there are some very grave illnesses inside and some very dire situations and dying children in this hospital. So we are out here promoting anti-natalism, and so Alex has a few words.
So we're out here in front of the Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh holding up these anti-natalist signs, and we just want to make people more aware of all the atrocities that take place. And nobody's, not even the most innocent people, which, you know, would be children, I guess, are free from the harms of life. They're not free from the atrocities of life. There's all sorts of horrors going on behind these walls of this building. There's kids that are getting, you know, sewn up and cut up and having their organs transplanted and having blood drawn, and
bone marrow,
and just a really horrible and disgusting situation that nobody should be victim to. And antinatalism is the only surefire way to prevent that. There's really no other way, because you might be positive, you might believe in God, you might even, you know, get your genes checked out, but at the end of the day, there's all sorts of horrible things that can take place. And even if you're healthy, you're still prone to wrecks and strokes. I mean, all it takes is a single stroke or a single tumor or a single accident to really turn a life from 100 to 0, to really change the quality of life from heaven to hell. So it's best to prevent harm, and the best way to do so is just not to have a child in the first place.
Yeah. And, you know, I used to babysit a young boy, and he was involved in a motor vehicle accident. He was on a tricycle, and he was basically in a vegetable state from the time he was 3 on up. And when I babysat him, he was about 14, and literally my task was to hold a rattle in front of him while he laid down on a blanket. And he had no more interpretation of life. He had no just conception of reality or where he was. He couldn't talk. He couldn't, I mean, his eyes just kind of rolled around in a stupor. And so life is very sad for many children, and life is always sad for all adults, and everybody will suffer, age, and die. So I think,
and also I wanted to add, I think it's really pathetic and deceiving how they make these children's hospitals look really innocent and playful. It's almost like you're walking into a toy store
or a children's museum.
Or a children's museum.
Yeah,
they have these ridiculous T-Rexes and these ridiculous action figures, and these are some of the most depressing places in the world.
Yeah.
Because the amount of suffering that takes place behind these walls is something that, you know, should not be painted in such a childish manner. It's
we just passed a dog out front, and it was made out of metal, and it says "Our Hero," and the dog had a big mask on. And, you know, I guess it pertains to the eyes of children, but once you were in this hospital and, you know, you're getting IVs placed and you're getting fed by a tube in your stomach, and, you know, your gut is ripped open and you have pain nonstop, and people are crying around you and you're crying, and, you know, bone marrow transplants and you know, transfusions, blood transfusions, wearing oxygen masks.
Oh, it's horribly depressing.
Yeah, and recovering from operations. It's shame on their biological parents. And I don't know how any parent could hold their head high, knowing that they have created a child who is going to be suffering in this life, whether by children's, you know, hospital, or just the daily sufferings that encounter students in schools, and stress and bullying and, you know, disease and viruses. So thank you for watching our video, and please do not reproduce.